What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here. Be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Like us on Facebook and Twitter to ask us questions and to receive news on the channel. Links for both will be in the description below. And last, be sure to tick that subscribe button to join our team, but more importantly, to join our family. Alright guys, see ya.
But now that you're gone, I can fly.
What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you a champion guide on Dr. Mundo, the Madman of Zaun. Now, today we're going to be playing Mr. Corporate Mundo, go wherever he pleases, in the top lane. And we're going to be playing against a Yasuo in lane, so this one should be a fun match. So, let's get into some of Mr. Mundo's Mr. Mundo's abilities. His passive, Adrenaline Rush. Dr. Mundo regains 0.3 of his maximum health each second. Now, this is a very good passive because what this allows a Mundo to do is this allows a Mundo to build straight tank. Well, this and another one of his abilities allows him to build straight tank and have a lot of health regen to back it up in lane, as well as also be able to kind of just be your team's dedicated tank. So, let's go into his Q ability, which is the second half of what makes him able to build straight tank and not have any problems with it. Infected Cleaver. Now, this ability, as well as all of Mundo's abilities, costs his health and not mana. As you can see, we don't have a health bar or a mana bar on Mundo. We just have a health bar because Corporate Mundo doesn't have time for mana. So, active, Dr. Mundo hurls his cleaver in a line, and the first enemy it hits takes magic damage equal to a percentage of its current health and is slowed by 40% for 2 seconds. And if Dr. Mundo hits it, he is healed for an amount equal to half the health cost. And Infected Cleaver has a minimum damage threshold and a maximum damage cap versus monsters, meaning that you have to do a minimum amount of damage with this spell, which is incredible to have on a champion. And this does magic damage equal to 15, 18, 21, 23, and 25% of the target's current health. And the minimum damage is 80, 130, 180, 230, and 280. And so that means that it's going to do a lot of damage to people. So right here, Yasuo comes in a lane, I melee him just to simply get his shield down. And after his shield's down, we're just going to start hitting him with some briefcases. We're going to show him that, hey, you didn't file your taxes, and we're going to hurt you for it. And look at that cleaver damage. It's going to be doing a lot of damage in lane. Look at that. He's already down to a quarter health off of 2 briefcases. So let's go into his next ability. Burning Agony. This costs health per second because you can toggle this on and off and have this consistently running or not have it running at all. And it has a cooldown of 4 seconds in between each activation. And it does magic damage per second. Toggled. While active, Dr. Mundo deals magic damage each second to nearby enemies and reduces the duration of crowd control effects on himself. This is important because if you say are going to a team fight and you got CC up, just like CC on top of you, you can turn this on and you'll be able to basically have some champion incorporated tenacity, which is amazing to have on a champion. And the magic damage per second is 35, 50, 65, 80, and 95 damage per second, and this scales 20% with AP. And the crowd control reduction is 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30% according to each level. So this one is very good to have toggled on when you're in the middle of a fight or if you're running away. It's a judgment call on whether you want to have it up while you're running if you're low health or not. Some would say, oh, it takes your health away so you have less chance of dying. But if they have heavy CC, it could potentially save you. So that one is pretty much up to your judgment call. Let's go into his third ability, his E ability, Masochism. And for 5 seconds, Dr. Mundo's gains bonus attack damage plus an additional attack damage for every 1% of his health missing. And this costs fairly low of his health, so you don't have to really worry about that. So right there, just kind of walking back and forth trying to dodge Yasuo's cleavers. But you get an additional 40, 55, 70, 85, and 100 AD, plus 0.4, 0.55, 0.7, 0.85, and 1 per 1% of missing health, according to each level. So this ability is good to activate under tower, especially when you're trying to last hit under your turret, because it allows you to get those caster minions with one turret hit if you're low enough health. And let's go into Dr. Mundo's ultimate, which is amazing. His ultimate is Sadism. Mundo, on active, and this has no cast time, by the way, so feel free to use this whenever. By the way, right here, I knew he wasn't going to kill me. Just popping the health potions, and we're going to talk on the phone for a little bit, call Grandma up, see how she's doing. And once we get to the answering machine, because Grandma's too cool for us, we kind of just hang up the phone and keep going. So right here, I see the Master Yi is in my lane. I saw him walk through this bush right about... Hang on, wait for it. Wait for it. He walks at some point, and I do see him. But, yeah, right there. I saw him walk in right there. So right now I'm like, alright, are these jokers serious? They're trying to gank the corporate boss man? So I'm just standing in lane. I'm not even concerned with this, and whoopah, hit him with the taxes. So he wasn't expecting that. Right there, I flash after he does the alpha strike to get him deeper into my lane, because I knew I had my ultimate after the kill. So what I do is, by getting him deeper into the lane, he now has a longer distance to travel with briefcases flying at his back like no one's business. So he's not going to be able to get the kill there, because I was able to get my ultimate off that Yasuo kill, which I don't know what Yasuo was doing. Maybe his ancient ways of carrying a samurai sword and not filing taxes caught up to him. I don't know. But he got a briefcase full of damage, and we ended up picking up a kill there and getting our ult and saving us right there. But what you saw right there was my ultimate, and my ultimate, active, Mundo regenerates a percentage of his maximum health over a period of 12 seconds. During this time, his movement speed is increased, and your heal is 40, 50, and 60% of your maximum health. And this one actually costs a good amount. This costs 20% of your current health. So it's very inexpensive when you're low health, but it's very expensive when you're high health. So, and also the movement speed is 15, 25, and 35% according to each level. So those are all of Dr. Mundo's abilities, pretty straightforward. So now let's get into some of the gameplay and what I build on him. So as you can see, we got a kill, so we're rolling in the dough a little bit. So what I ended up picking up was, I ended up picking up a Giant's Belt, a ward, a health potion, a few health potions actually, and some boots for the mobility. So on Dr. Mundo, and by the way, right there, I want to pause this really quick because I want to explain to you guys. Okay, so I see a lot of people bringing teleport. And not knowing when to teleport, and they'll just waste TP. If the minion wave is right here and your laner is not pushing the lane, don't teleport, just walk. If the minion wave is going to your turret and you're about to lose CS, then you TP, but TP to the turret, because it still gives you that additional minute cooldown off since you went to a turret rather than a minion. So again, if the minion wave is here or further towards their turret, don't bother TPing and wasting. Just walk to lane. You can make it and not miss that many CS. So don't just TP willy-nilly, okay? I eat people like that for breakfast. I see that they use TP unnecessarily and I punish them for it. But yeah, I just want to make sure my family is well beyond that. So we're going to start this back up, and the wind wall was up. It was tickling my face a little bit, so I was throwing down the laughs. So right here, I got on the phone with Grandma and I realized, oh man, it's time to go. So I land a cleaver. I'm still going on him, and you can keep chasing somebody if you can land your cleavers. So right here, doing a little jukety juke and trying to hit him with a couple more papers. He was wise to that. So I was letting Vi pick up a little bit of experience for ganking my lane, even though she didn't do that much. She just kind of created lane pressure, I guess, which is good. So we're gonna go back into farming, and you can see whenever my cleaver's up and I have like a decent shot on him, I like to throw the cleaver like right there. Just that was damaged through his shield. I mean, come on, you can't not throw briefcases. So right here, just throwing the briefcases at him when he barely pokes out of the minions, because if I miss, I CS. If I hit, I do damage onto him. So it's always beneficial for that to happen. So right here, juking out the tornado, turning on my Burning Agony because I know I have decreased CC, and when they realize that they can't gank the corporate monster, I just go back on the phone with Grandma and tell them, yeah, Grandma, I made it out alive, we're good, we're golden. So right there, throwing more briefcases, hitting the Yasuo in the face. He remembers what happened when he died to my other briefcase, so he cleverly walks away. So right here, I'm pinging down for the assist. Now, I don't know that the Yasuo is in here, but right here, this was a mistake by the Yasuo. We're going to keep playing this, because right now he's separated by a lot of terrain and a lot of minions from his Master Yi, his only other source of help. So by being in that bush, he didn't really accomplish anything. Had Master Yi waited with him, they might have been able to do something, but since he split off from his jungler and a high source of damage, that was pointless for him to do. And he essentially just kind of wasted time and wasted CS and had a base even off that. So right now, I knew that he had a base because I had because I did a good amount of damage off on him. I didn't do the world's most damage, but I did a good amount. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm kind of freezing the lane. Once I realize that he might have based, might not have based, I decide to push the lane at one point. But when your opponent bases, you want to try and push the lane as fast as possible. And after you push the lane, get damage off onto the turret, but let the turret deny them some CS. So right here, you see that I pop my Burning Agony and I start farming instead of trying to hit the turret. Because right now, I'm trying to get my CS, but the turret is stealing his CS. So right there, gives me a little ignite, stopping my passive from working, I guess. I don't know, I guess it was okay ignite if you look at it that way. But the corporate man just stays on his phone and is not really bothered by that. The wind wall tickling my chin again, so I'm just laughing a little bit. It was tickling me, you know, so what can you do? If it tickles, you laugh. I mean, that's basically it. So right there, getting back on the phone with Grandma. She still hasn't answered. Grandma's still too cool for us, I guess. But that's pretty much Mundo right here. You just throw cleavers in lane, and once they get to a certain point, you turn on your Burning Agony and just hunt them down. Because you have dropped CC, you're going to be pushing the minion wave as well by doing that. And that's pretty much it. And you just go ham city, you know. And you'll see examples of that later on, and you're going to see that Mundo does in fact go where Mundo pleases. And typical maxing order, I like to max my cleavers first since they're a high source of damage, dealing percent health. And after that, depending, I most of the time do Burning Agony next, but sometimes I'll do my E ability as well, but most of the time it's my W that I max after my Q. Just because the AoE damage, I guess, wow, this game I decided to max my E, so false information there. I guess I'm maxing my E right now to last hit under tower. I don't know. I really don't know why I maxed my E this game. But I do like the decreased amount of CC that I get from my W, so if my laner has any sort of CC, I like to typically take that and max it compared to maxing my E. But since Yasuo has not that much CC other than his tornado, I'm just going to go ahead and max my E. So yeah, that was the reason. But so right here we're going to base. I know my TP is up, so if he does decide to push the wave, I can just TP back. But then I see that, hey, we have a cannon minion in this wave, so I kind of want to catch this wave before I base. So right there he throws down the wind wall. I wasn't around for it to tickle that much, so I didn't really laugh all that hard. But I'm just waiting for this cannon minion. I want to make sure that I don't miss this. Wabba! Briefcase to the face. So now we're going to just pop the Burning Agony to finish up that wave. And the beautiful thing about Mundo is if you don't really want to base, you can always just pop your ultimate when you're low health, and you have basically like great lane sustain, which is fantastic to have on a Mundo. So right here you see I pick up the Chain Vest to combat some of the Yasuo's damage, which is primarily physical, other than your little dash thing, that's AP, but you know, whatever. I focus on the main things in my league. And so right there I pick up the Boots of Swiftness so that I can do this. So once you pick up Swiftness, you just don't care. You just walk through everything and just hit them with the briefcases. turning on my E ability so I can do more damage. And with Swifties, you can't run from a Mundo. It's crazy because he has the briefcases to hurt you and slow you down. Right there, he tries the ult and stop the boss man from killing him, but we just popped the ultimate. Call Grandma. Grandma, we won. Left a voicemail. I'm too busy. I gotta do some corporate things. So I popped my ultimate when I was low health because I didn't want to spend a lot of health using it. For those of you guys who use your ult at high level or at high health, you can do that to chase, but you end up losing a lot of health from that. So I think it's more efficient to pop your ult when you're about quarter health because you end up gaining a lot more than you lose. So that's a little tip for you guys. If you're fighting, wait till you're about quarter health and then go ahead and pop your ultimate. So right here, I realize that I'm very far ahead in lane as far as kills and CS is concerned. Well, not that much in CS, but as far as kills are concerned, I'm very far ahead. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this early turret. And the reason I want to take this early turret is because you've seen me explain this in a lot of videos. I'm going to pause this really quick and go over to the minimap. Now that I took that turret and mid turret is also gone, we now have basically their top half of the jungle for freedom of roaming, for freedom of ganks, everything. We have control of this area now, unless they try and counter ward or they ward up. You know, we have control of that area. So as a top laner, if you're very far ahead, you want to take that tower early. You see, I mean, 14 minutes, it wasn't necessarily early tower, just because I wanted to solidify my lead over the Yasuo, because Yasuo is a snowballing champion. But I got that tower so that I can start roaming and getting kills elsewhere and doing damage and helping out elsewhere. So that's the reason I took an early tower, or well, semi-early tower like that. So right here, Master Yi is chasing me down. I just go ahead and burn the flash because I'm worth money now, and I don't want to give that money over to a 2-0 Master Yi, just because I don't like how Master Yi snowballs. It's kind of stupid. So right here, I noticed that he's pushing the wave a little bit and that I can't necessarily base just yet since my TP is not up yet. So I go ahead and pop my ult. I have too much mobility for him to hit anything, and I go ahead, start up my Burning Agony, and he ends up burning the flash there. So that was good pressure by Vi to come up to top lane like that. She was able to apply decent pressure and to force the Yasuo to back off of the pushing. So that ultimate got me back up to about 2/3 HP, so I'm able to stay in lane and pressure. Right here, I really want to go for that. I don't know why we didn't go for that Yasuo. That was kind of a free kill. But anyways, as you can see, we're really far ahead. I'd like to base. I'm sitting on a good amount of gold, definitely enough to finish off my Sunfire Cape, which is a buy I really like doing on the Mundo, because when you go into somebody's face like this, a Sunfire Cape ends up doing a lot more damage than you would think it would. Especially since you have kind of like a passively running Sunfire Cape with your Burning Agony as well. So right there, just doing a good amount of damage off as a Mundo, just continuously throwing cleavers. Cleavers are the name of the game with a Mundo. If you can land cleavers, you're a fantastic Mundo because they can't run from you. And then when you have some Swifties and Burning Agony running, you're doing a lot of damage to them for building straight tank and no damage. If you want to get a little bit more damage, you can switch out the Swifties for some Merc Treads, but you don't need to do that. So right there, Akali throws down her Twilight Shroud. I was like, I'm going this way. Nope, going that way. I just didn't want to potentially get assassinated by the Akali since I was a little bit low health. So right here, you see that I'm going to go into mid lane and going to get a couple of these creeps, just farm up, because I'm going to start roaming, but I still want to stay ahead, because right now I'm ahead of the game and I want to stay that way. So I'm pushing lanes, getting CS wherever I can, and if that's not where I want to be, then I'm just going to keep going and farm up or be useful elsewhere. So right here, Yasuo, I see him in top lane pushing, and I know that my TP is back up, so before using TP to go to top lane, I'm going to base, pick up my Sunfire Cape, and I think I'm waiting on one more item or so. Let me see. Yep, I end up going with the Warden's Mail, sorry. I'm burping out my, making sure I was right, burping up my Wendy's Junior Cheeseburger and a Wendy's Chicken Junior something. I'm not sure. They're both on the value menu. It's really good. You put them together, and it's very delicious. But anyways, we end up TPing to top lane. The reason I pick up a Warden's Mail here is because I see they have a Master Yi and they have a Yasuo on their team. Two champions that have very high attack speed and do really well with some attack speed and crit. So by picking up Warden's Mail, I'm taking out basically half the equation with their attack speed. So right there I landed a cleaver, and now the chase is on, because once you land one cleaver with Mundo, it's pretty much over. As long as you just keep landing those cleavers. And that's the beautiful part of Mundo. Once you land one cleaver, you just chase them down, especially if you have the Swifties. You keep chasing them down and landing cleavers. Let your Sunfire and your Burning Agony do damage per second, and you just stick on them like glue. And it's hard for them to run away. So right there, I just killed them, pushed out the lane, and now I'm deciding what I want to do. And we are so far ahead right now, I tell my Vi, hey Vi, let's do a Baron, because I really want Baron right now. I think Baron would look really nice on Mundo, especially with my pink shirt. So that's another thing that I see a lot of people not doing, is pressuring early Barons. If you guys have control of the top half of the map like that, like we have right now, I mean, their top and mid are pushed very heavily. They have no idea where anything is in their jungle right now. So Baron is obviously not warded, because everyone doesn't expect to have a Baron attempt at 18 minutes. So their assumption is, hey, we don't have to ward Baron yet. I mean, come on, it's 18 minutes. Why would we need a ward Baron? So right here, I'm just going where I damn well please. Tristana actually counters Mundo really hard, so I had to get out of there because my ult wasn't healing me for anything. So I back up, and now I'm back in the fray. I'm just doing some damage here and there, just throwing cleavers wherever I can. And that's pretty much your job as a Mundo if you're low health, is just chuck cleavers into the fight. If you are mid to high health, your job is to be in the middle, mix everything up, and just do damage everywhere. So right here, man, let me slow this team fight down for you. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going through here. And right here, I see the Master Yi come in, and I realize that we have 2 out of 3 having low health. So I kind of back off a little bit. I don't really want to combat him. But once we have Vi come in, I realize, like, okay, we can do some damage here. So let me pause this and switch over to manual camera. So right now, Vi's in the middle of 3 people. So this is ordinarily a bad situation. But right here, she gets a very good ult, and she's able to knock 2 people to the side, right? So right now they have a three-man split with a Vi that's full health and has a black shield. Well, not full health, but quarter health, half health. So Morgana has the black shield on her, so she can't be CC'd. Right here, I see the Leona go in. So right now it's a 2v1 up here, but a 2v1 over here as well. And then if I decide to go in here, it's a 3v1. So what I do is I instantly decide, hey, let me go over to this Leona and help out my carry. Because if my carry stays alive, we have a chance of doing some work. So right here, I get in the way of her, I clear the minion so that I don't end up hitting the minion with my cleaver on accident, because that ends up hurting you a lot. So right here, I'm just trying to face tank everything, make sure that no skill shots are going to get through my backline, and we're just getting in the way with Burning Agony and Sunfire Cape. So just hurling more cleavers. She gets hit by a cleaver. She unfortunately does not get hit by the cork. If she did get hit by the cork, I probably would have kept going in, but she didn't, so sadly we did not pick up the kill there. But yeah, that's my thinking in team fights. With Mundo, it's very easy to think in team fights. It's just you kind of go in. If you're high health, you go into the middle, mix things up. You want to get your percent damages off on the tanks, just because it's going to be doing more damage, and let your Burning Agony, Sunfire Cape do all the work for you. And you just stay in the middle and basically be a bullet sponge. That's what you're good for as a Mundo. So Yasuo is pushing top lane. He's kind of splitting top, and I guess that's pretty much the best he can do right now, just because he's kind of far behind and he needs to farm up, of which he's doing a very good job. But we're making more of a difference as far as the team fighting is concerned, and this is why people who say, oh, I do really well in lane but do terrible, you know, we always lose. Well, think about it. You didn't do anything as far as helping your team out. I won my lane and I pushed that thing to the I pushed it to the inhib, right? And because I did that, I can now help out everywhere else. The time it took Yasuo to push even one tower down, we were able to pick up another tower, pick up a couple kills, and get a couple people snowballing. So I was worth way more as an asset to my team because I won lane and did something with it. If you win lane and stay in lane, you're not anything special. You know, you might as well have gone even in lane because you're not helping your team out. See, right here, I'm helping my team out with my advantage. Right here, I'm telling my Vi, yo, Baron time. I'm fed, I'm ready, I'm beefed up, I can do this. So let's go. She's like, no, we can't Baron right now. I'm like, I'm doing it. And I started this Baron, and we end up being able to do a lot to Baron. And the reason why Mundo is very good at taking down Baron is because his cleavers do a good amount on to the Baron because of the percent health. I mean, it does have a damage cap, but it's still a good amount. And also, he's a bullet sponge, so he can tank up this Baron very easily. Yasuo coming in, thinking he's going to do something. We quickly show him that is not an option for him. Morgana doing a very good job of peeling him off of the Baron, and I'm just kind of staying in it, making sure that we tank it all up and that we're able to secure it. So right there, that was an example of being ahead, telling your teammates you're ahead, and doing something about it. Now we have a 21-minute Baron. A Baron on a 21-minute team is scary. It is very, very, very scary. Because you have the increased health regen, you have AP, AD, you have crazy stats. So your team, if you have an early Baron like that, and if you win top, and you can help your team get an early Baron like that, you are such an incredible asset to your team. So you're going to see us now start to face roll. This game is going to start wrapping up in the next 4 minutes, which coincidentally is the amount of time we have on the Baron. So right here, let's slow this down. I saw my teammates getting chased off by a Leona and an Akali. So what I do is I go into the middle of it, mix things up, make Leona waste her stun on me. Right there I see the ultimate go down, but I still have my Burning Agony going, so I have decreased CC time. So I'm just throwing cleavers, making sure that they land. The Yasuo Tornado does end up hitting 2 people, but he's not going to follow up because we have Baron buff and he's like 2 to 3 levels below us. So I'm just continuously staying on the closest person to me, which is the Leona, which is also a CC bot for their team. And just kind of face tanking any kind of projectiles or skill shots that they're going to be throwing at our team. And I do so fairly well because I have my increased health regen from the Baron buff, and also I'm Mundo. So I'm going to be regenerating a lot of health, or I'm regenerating 0.3 of my maximum health per second. It's crazy. You're doing a lot as Mundo. I believe it's per second, yeah. Each second, yeah, so that's crazy. Let's go back over to my camera. Forgot, accidentally moved that one. So we're going to speed this back up. So right now we're just kind of waiting to start something. I'm waiting to land a couple cleavers and do some work. I really want to go in, but we're wasting our time here a little bit because it's kind of stale. They have good wave clear, and in this situation it would have been good to maybe push another lane, but we end up not doing that. And right now I'm just kind of throwing briefcases over the wall just to see if I'm just doing target practice. Right there, Yasuo flashed. That was a very good flash. It dodged a lot of stuff. I can't even say that seriously. But Vi goes over the wall, does a very good engage. I flash over. Okay, so let's break this down. So right now, I'm in the middle of things. I'm getting turret shots tanked. So right here, Vi gets a good ult off. So right now, I see 3 objectives. Let me switch over to the manual camera. So right now, we have 3 people in this fight from my team and 3 people from their team. My Vi currently is low health, right? 38 health to be exact. But she has a black shield, so she's probably going to die here. So what I do is, I'm sitting in the middle of it, just tanking everything. I got my Burning Agony, I have my ultimate down, and I know Tristana's not around to do anything because her I think it's her E. Her E does like an ignite type deal where I don't heal as much. So since she's not here, I'm not afraid to be in this fight. So right there, I'm face tanking everything, and this Morgana is just getting abilities after abilities off on the enemy team. And right here, I'm still pretty healthy, so I'm going to tank up the tower a bit. I'm going to get her to a decent amount of damage, and I'm going to give this kill off to my Morgana, and I'm just going to kind of try and tank as much as I can up until the last hit. Sadly, I could not tank anymore, and Morgana does end up picking up the kill. I believe she dies here, though. Yeah, there it is. Let's get that slow motion, get that zoomed in for the special effects. Look at that, so pretty. She has 3 buffs going. But yeah, that was an example of a play where I knew how tanky I was. I knew exactly how much damage I could take from turrets and from enemy teams, and I was able to do the best I could. Right there, I TP'd to the inhib because I knew that we had a chance of taking it, and I'm too beefy for them to stop me. And what that did was okay, so when you push an inhib like that, guys, no one should be in this lane from your team. This lane is now X'd out for your team, or you have like a permanent member of your team pushing that lane, figuratively, because of the super minions. So if you have this lane, this gives you a lot of dragon control because it sends a lot of people to the top lane to clear. And it also gives you a lot of bot pressure as well that you can use freely. So in the same respect, if we had not had Baron, a better lane to push would have been bot lane, because what pushing bot lane does is by having that consistent person in bot lane, it frees up a lot of Baron potential because it splits the map in the same way top splits dragon. So you want to keep that in mind. And if mid has no inhib, that kind of frees up both sides equally. I like personally to have opposite map splits, so it's like from there to there or there to there. I like that, but mid lane is also a very good turret to get as well because it frees up basically all of that vision, which is nice to have. So that's the reason I like to push that top objective, is because I know we didn't have dragon yet, so it puts us in a good spot for dragon. Not that they could contest us anyways, but that's just me kind of trying to practice my game mechanics and trying to practice pushing and controlling the map as a team. So right now we're just kind of beating a dead horse. We've pretty much won the game. Not to say we couldn't throw, but at this point I am a pretty fed Mundo. I'm 3-0-7. My Vi is 4-4, Jinx 7-2. We're doing a very good job as a team right now. So right here we pick up another dragon to further our gold lead. And okay, so this Leona is out of position, right? I saw her walk up through the minions, so instead of going around that way, I come up through here so that I can pinch her off with the Morgana. I'm landing consistent Qs, and you notice I walk in front of her. So the reason I walk in front of her is because if she does end up having to, she's going to have to walk this way. But if I walk in front of her, I could potentially force her to go down this path or that path. So by walking in front of them, you actually kind of force them to go another direction. Or if they flash over you like that, you're closer to them had you just stayed behind them and walking, right? So you notice every time I auto attack, I walk forward. Auto attack, walk forward. Cleaver, walk forward. Auto attack, walk forward. And that's so that I can land more hits. That's called attack move, or attack moving basically, or old walking, whatever you want to call it. They're kind of different things, but same principle. I mean, just don't stand still and auto attack and wait for the whole animation. You know, cancel your auto attack animation and you'll be able to get more auto attacks off in the same amount of time. So right there, landing a cleaver. Morgana sadly did not land her bind. Master Yi, he goes in. He's going ham city. He's ready for this. Orianna gets a nice little ult off. And what I do is right here, I turn on the Burning Agony, stop any CC that they might have, and I start focusing down the Master Yi. So I'm throwing down auto attacks. I see that he pops down his healing. So I'm like, alright, I'm just going to tee off on this kid. And I'm just hitting him with everything I got. Morgana lands a good binding and then the auto attack to get the last hit on the kill. And I'm just trying to tank up as much damage as I can. Right there, he throws the wind wall. Gosh, man, that just tickles. It's just tickling me so much. So just landing consistent cleavers, trying to push this minion wave, landing more and more cleavers. Morgana lands a nice binding off there, and I pick up another assist as the Mundo. And now we're going to push down this turret, and we're going to be getting this thing down. And eventually we're going to be pushed, or we're going to push to win the game here. And the game will wrap up pretty soon here. I can't remember if they forfeit or if we end up just taking the towers. But I really hope you guys enjoy this guide. I really like Mundo in the top lane. He's very good. I would like to play him in the jungle as well with the new Quill item. The new Quill item is fantastic for him, by the way, guys. But yeah, he's just he's a good bullet sponge, and he's a really good CC bot with all of your cleaver slows and everything like that. So I really hope you guys go out there and you try and pick up Mundo and play him in the top lane. He's very fun to play. And hopefully you guys learned a lot from this guide. And if there's any questions, as always, feel free to post a comment down below and ask them, because I really do care about you guys learning as much as you can from these guides. So if I didn't cover something fully, or if there's something that I didn't cover that you guys want to bring up to help the community out, definitely bring it up. And comment if you have any questions, guys. Seriously, I will respond to everything. I promise you that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this guide. And click subscribe if you haven't already to join the family. But without anything else to say, this has been your LOL Support, and I am out of here.